Guys, let's continue with the reductionism. Last time, I remember I talked about one physician who is like 102 years old, and he believed that exercise is everything. You can just focus on exercise, everything will be solved. And then I argued that that's not, singling out any one of the element for longevity. It's not scientific because it's more likely to be wrong in the long run. You cannot stand the test of time. You might be gaining the popularity among people. Why? Because people prefer simple solutions. If you can say something that you believe is the secret code and you crack it, and then people say, oh my god, this guy cracked it, and then how come I could not it? So they're just they really become your fan, a big fan of it. That's why we need more people to look at the fundings that can stand the time test. Okay, not among people. Okay, so among people, the two may not be consistent with each other. Okay, so that's very important. But on the other hand, I also want to make the point that sometimes we pay too much attention to what is good, what is our strengths to make us live longer. Okay, you know what? The longevity is pretty much determined by your weakness, by your weakest weakness. Okay, that's why you die not because you have a strong lung, but because you're very very weak kidney. Okay, not because you have a strong muscles, but because you have something wrong with your liver. So that's the thing that kills us. So I believe that in the longevity literature, we talk too much on our strengths, but each individual have to look at their individual weakness and then work on that, and that will raise the longevity as a whole for everybody. Okay, so that's one thing that I want to mention. But anyway, let's go back to this one. Today I read an article. It's very interesting. Um, there was a team of researchers in a university. I'm not sure, I never heard about that university, but anyway, they found that there was, a secret code. You know why? Remember, I said that we in social science we have to cast a big net. Okay, they did exactly that because they look at people, different species. Okay, from rat, from mouse to humans. Some rat can live like only 1 year old, and humans can live 100 years old. So there's like 100 times difference. Why? They look at that. They ended up analyzing 107 species. Okay, that's a good example of casting a wide net because by casting a wide net, you get more insight in comparison to the casting a narrow net. So that's very important. They found that some specific protein will be controlling the mechanism that the protein will basically control the longevity. So that's a very important issue. Okay. Uh, remember, I said last time that we want to talk about the new institutional economics. They are a version of reductionism. Let's get it into that. Let's get it started because this is a big topic. We have to uh, spend more time on at least two or three videos on it. But let's say this. New institutional economics, very influential. There were so many people got a Nobel Prize. So I'm just saying, I just want to say that, you know, the most influential theorist, one of the founding fathers, if you will, for the NIE, which means New Institutional Economics, the NIE, Douglass North. I really have a lot of respect because this guy, he has a very high originality. Okay, Some other scholars, including the three Nobel Prize winner of last year, I just call it AJR. Yeah, I believe that's AJR. The Acemoglu, Johnson, and Robinson. I really think that I respect them. There's nothing personal. Okay, I'm just saying that they borrow a lot of ideas from Douglass North. I would say, in terms of conceptual originality, especially inductive originality, there's a two mode of thinking. One is deductive, another is inductive. Deductive is that you start from a principle, and then you generated derived more ideas out of this. Inductive is basically start from the scratch. You started from your observation of the life, and then you found out some observations, some event or some phenomena, and then you found out. Let's see whether how much is that applicable to other scenarios, other cases, and then that's why I think in the generative AI age, inductive originality is most important, okay? Because the deductive part, the AI will do that for us because they will summarize all the so far we have a human the funding already what you have what we discovered. Now the thing for the individual human beings, they need to live in their individual life and then make observations and then find out the new things that add up to the increase in the pool of knowledge. So that's what's very important. I have to say, because I'm not have nothing personal against it, those three guys, AJR, but they are the Nobel Prize winners, so they are public figures. They should, they bear some responsibility to be criticized, to have a critique, right? You have to. It's a great honor, but it comes together with the responsibility. So I would say, in terms of inductive originality, Douglas North alone is bigger, higher than the three guys together, AJR. I'm not saying they don't have their own original ideas. They do. Like, for example, they the concept of inclusive institutions. Okay, but I would say, given the discussion, I would not. I personally, I would not, take those three guys as serious theorists. I would pay more attention to Douglas North because he has more original ideas. And the other thing I like Douglas North is that he has some self doubt. Okay, let's face it that he is the one raised the issue. He says that what is the economic growth, income growth, technology, human resources, everything. Investment. These are not growth. These are not the causes of growth. They are growth. And then so basically, he raised the issue that institutions are the causes of the economic growth. Okay, we'll come back to this later. There's some problem with this thinking because if you really cast a big net, you will find out that just to ask this question that so far, if you look around the countries with the economic growth, I'm not just saying that because Douglas North said that, one thing about that, this theorists, that they don't use math, so they're just words and words, words. Everything's words. And sometimes they come up with words against each other, because without math, you don't have a good handle of keeping consistent, precise, and concise. So that's one thing. So Douglas North mentioned that himself says that you know we have to realize that all the developed countries, they're not just the rich, but also their institutions good. So that's why that's actually that's not a mean. I would say the two ideas are fighting each other. Once on the one hand that institutions, development of institutions, and economic growth, they come as a highly connected, right? On the other hand, if you say, well, institution is the cause of the institution of the economic growth, that's you basically you are like confusing the correlation with the regression causal analysis. Okay, so in my mind, I would say good institutions actually are not necessarily the one and the only causes of the economic growth. They are part of growth. Okay, so let's stop here, and then we can next time we can more critique of AJR, the Nobel Prize winner.